Subramanya, President and Chief Technology Officer of Sagality Healthcare. I don't know how many of you know about Sagality, which is a part of HGS, okay? I think all of you know it. In fact, when I uh, asked this question in Manila, only one or two, none of the hands were up, right, Arvind? So I think they've really done very good job and tremendous amount of technology and automation which they have brought in. And always say that embrace technology, adopt and then scale. So it's very important. Without much delay, on behalf of GWFM, it gives great pleasure having you with us, Subbu, and appreciate your time that you have taken out besides your busy schedule. So it's a great honor to have you.
Thank you.
So with us, I invite Subbu, CTO and President of Sagality Healthcare.
Good afternoon. I know it's a very tough session. I think at least some people said yes to Sagality, they know. Forget about they knowing me, at least. They know Sagality Health. But I'm sure some of the people would have heard HGS, right? Yeah, at least that name, of course. Because I know this forum itself was not there while I started WFM. Yes, I am definitely older than the WFM team, what I can really think through in the year 2000 while we started our BPO business in HGS. That's how it is. And today, we have a very, very strong workforce team available with us. And I'm sure a lot of you have interacted with Arvind, who is a part of our team, who leads the whole WFM practice for the globe. He's based out of India. He manages the globe, complete workforce management from India. So we are a large third-party organization, like every other company. There are a lot of competitors of us also here. It's no more competition. I think all of us can call it as collaboration, right? I think this forum itself is a collaboration of a lot of ideas what we really do. The whole business is all about that. The more we really learn together, I think it makes more sense for all of us to be together to achieve the best to our customers who are sitting across the globe. I think we have proven that in the time of COVID. Because I was a part of one of the forums which we created in Karnataka, where we did rapid response for the COVID team. So why I'm just trying to say this is the collaboration down here. Those days it was still called HGS, and HGS and Infosys worked together. So I remember Radha and me were discussing, and then we decided that, okay, I want to completely take care of the technology, which is more the telephony technology. Because if you see, if you really hear, you're all the experts in the workforce, right? So I'm more a technology guy, so I was more running the technology and the telecom. How do we really make that work? How do we really collaborate together? That was the point which we worked. And we really did a great success. NASCOM and the Ministry of, Karnataka Ministry, government of, the health department really did a lot of appreciations for us. I think the point is collaboration here is very, very good. That's what I really see. Dr. Shiva, I think you have really made a good job of, collaborating with all these people, making everybody really meet each other, work with each other, understand each other challenges. However you do, by using your sponsors or whatever it is, at least you make all the people meet together. So what am I trying to really talk here? Of course, he's given me 20 minutes. I don't have 20 slides. I just have 5 slides. I am not a slide guy. I think few of the people whom I told last time when I spoke, this is purely for us to really get some data points, what we have really seen in the industry. It's not my data. It's the data which have been collated from various researchers. So what are we seeing here? We are all seeing automation, more and more bots. I'm sure I just came in by around 11:30, 12. I saw the panelists who were discussing about what's going to be the future, how many it's going to be for the next 3 years and 5 years. If you really see, none of us can really predict. I remember attending one of the best guy from KPMG who spoke about, I can predict something for the next 5 years. You know why? Because I would have retired by then. Because nobody will really come and question what I'm going to say after 5 years, right? So I think the industry is going at such a pace, right? We have to literally look at how can we really do everything every day, right? I think somebody also spoke about, I tell my own team, I have close to around 300 plus people across the globe who manage the technology. I say, guys, for us, it's a 24/7 task. Similar task today, if you really look at, is the workforce management team, right? I think the team needs to be absolutely available. Yes, it is supported by bots, right? I think we all need to be very clear while we, as leaders, trying to tell to our team, the bots are not going to replace you people or replace our people, right? It's very, very clear that the bots are going to enable us to make things happen, right? Is it easy to make it happen? Each of us have different challenges. Captives have a different challenge. Third party have a different challenge. The size of the teams where we really try to do automation, some people will come back and say, hey, I'm running a small business, man. Why are you trying to move mountains for me? It's like trying to solve something in a knife and you take a big cutter for that and try to cut it. It may not be really required at all. So some places we may not really require too many bots and automations. And I think earlier Sunil was trying to talk about digitalization, right? I think if you really look at, these have been the buzz which everybody wants to really rush in. I think it's like in our forum, if you see, cloud was one, right? If you go back to the CIO, CTO forum and ask them, hey guys, cloud, everybody, it was a mad rush, everybody went in. Everything they took to the cloud. Was everything to go to the cloud or a selective one to go to the cloud was a decision where we need to stop, think, and then go forward. Today, a lot of organizations are realizing, hey man, I've already gone in. It's like an Indian marriage, I say. Normally, Indian marriage, you don't really break, right? I call it as Indian marriage specifically because you're bonded, you have to be with it, and you've gone to the cloud. If you want to really pull out any data from a provider to B provider, you have to spend tons of money for it. And now what has happened, we give a new word for all that and say cloud orchestrator. And then try to say, I'm going to orchestrate between the clouds and move data. Where is it all going to hit? It's going to hit the same CFO's pocket. The CFO will come back and say, no, I don't want you to spend so much of money. Then try to be with it. Exit out of a single cloud itself is not an easy task. It's very, very tough tasks. So I think a lot of automation which really comes in here with the bots trying to do will really help is what we are all thinking. And that's what closely 60% of the people are predicting about. Workplace flexibility. All of us have really seen this, right? Today, if you ask anybody to come back to the office, they'll say, should I really come back? They'll just have a chance. Okay, today I have a meeting in Taj here. It's good. After this, I can go back home here. I don't think I need to go back to the office, right? The people will really think that they have seen the comfort. We all appreciate, understand that it was a need while it was COVID. We all need to understand is, can innovation continue to happen if we really work from wherever we are? If we have to deliver whatever we need to deliver, which is a set task which we have decided for ourselves, then it's not a problem. Probably those are the ones which are clearly definable. You will be able to do that. But innovation happening across, especially across the teams, across the globes, not being face-to-face, it will happen. I only think it will be an incremental automation, incremental innovation. But what are our customers trying to look at is a sea change innovation. If we are not able to really do a sea change innovation, we ourselves, as a third-party company who are servicing our customers in the US, we ourselves will cease to exist. So we need to start thinking, how do we really encourage people to really come over, try to regularly meet up and do things. I think, but that's a definite challenge. Workforce has a lot of methods to really do, and I know my team really, when I keep asking them, one thing, hats off to you guys in workforce management, all of us sitting in the leadership team, we keep asking you data. Give me this combination, give me a workout on that, tell me at that particular point of the day, what is the call volume came, and then try to tell me what is the people worked in office. Everybody wants the data from the WFM team. Like I was saying earlier, the good thing is you are the department who you have a lot of structured data. That's a great thing which I can really think, at least from all of us, what we have seen outside, you people have taken, like Sunil was trying to say earlier in his presentation, the data has come in from multiple sources. It could be from Excel sheets and CSV files and whatnots. But at least outcome of all that, output of all that will be clearly on a structured data which can be leveraged. So we all go back. And I was earlier saying that the workforce team is almost the nerve center for the company. Because while we go back and try to talk to a team, tell them, hey, hold on, man, I want to do, including my office, which I'm trying to say, the CTO's office will go back and say, I have the volume which is really peaking in this particular time of the day. Can you please tell me how does it work? Why do you think it is? What has really changed? I think I kudos to all of you guys in the WFM team. Thanks to all of you. I think you are able to make the business really run far more sharper. And I know a lot of people who've been successful in the WFM because I have seen, as I said, from 20 years I have run the team. So I was just meeting one of my colleagues down here. I used to manage WFM also, right? Of course, I am in this company for 23 years. The one thing is very clear, I have not become a fixture in furniture. Because you need to keep changing the roles and keep doing a lot of things, right? One very important thing all of us need to do is we always need to be relevant ourselves. For us to be relevant, you need to keep doing what you think you are absolutely fit in your core competence thing. So here, I also used to do WFM. I know the team, which is a few of them who used to work with me in WFM. There's another guy who was there, and now Arvind has taken over globally. So we have very, very key set of people who are running WFM. And I want to say that that's the nerve center for our company. And we have close to 350 people with us globally trying to run close to 32,000 people. So that's the way the ratios are. Anyway, connected silos. I think earlier some of the people spoke. And as I said very clearly, it is not easy to really make things work. In an organization, there'll be a lot of departments. And connecting between the departments itself is so difficult. Each department wants to run almost like their own company. And they have their own KRS. Each of them want to achieve their something, right? So we have to really see how do we break these silos. Is it easy to break? Not at all. How do we really collaborate with each of them? What's in it for me is what everybody will look at. I think we need to see if I give this data, okay, I'm sure Arvind will come back and say that, sir, आपको उस दिन मैं data दिया था, आप मेरे को कुछ कराओगे, इससे बात करो sir, Variant से, Nice से, और Exacto से, किसी से बात करो sir. So literally you need to see whether it is for an individual or for an organization, you need to see what's in it for them. I think it's very important, not an easy task, but it's an important task for us to really have that done. Real-time service, I think I spoke about it, especially for, it used to be earlier, if you look at for back office, you don't really require a lot of real-time service, but I think here you have a combination of both. You have your front office and back office, so you will want a lot of real-time service. So, speaking about all that, now look at these three keywords which we all have seen. Like I was just telling, AI will do everything. No conference is complete. You walk this side of the road or that side of the road, if you see in the whole building here itself. Everybody is talking about AI. Companies which didn't have a .ai also have started calling it as AI and trying to build everything related towards AI. That's the way they've really done. AI, Gen AI, these have become absolutely common for all of us to see what we can do, right? We need to be clear, first, ourselves, are we convinced for us to go to the management? If somebody comes back and says that these are the things which I can really do, I'll first tell that, is this required, right? We have customers, we are just bouncing the ideas, We have customers who are thousands of seats. If we go back and try to tell them, they have a different challenge. He says, okay, I've heard from all of you. I think, you know what, I have a leader who is running this automation in my own company, who works with an IT partner. I will take it with him. So what's in it for us as third party? Only suggestion what we gave and said thank you and we have to walk out, right? So we need to keep scouting as a third party with our own customers to see what's that which we can really get for. So back here, enabling, empowering, and engaging. These three are very, very punch, and that's especially for employees. If we really look at, if we have to get a best of the customer experience, we need to have our employees motivated. And today, the motivation of the employees itself is so different. Today, if I ask few people here who are really sitting and saying, each of them will be thinking another 5 years. I know people who have worked with us, and I know people who have worked with us and moved to the US and come back and or their family or their kids. You know what? They were all in companies like Microsoft and Google. They all said that, thank you very much. I think I've done what I need to do. I'm going to come back and do a startup here. I'm going to really run a pet company. I'm going to see how do I maintain a pet? How do I really run a kennel? So imagine the people are trying to get to the saturation very fast. How do we, in such situation, what you have, you put any of your workforce management tool, do anything, how do you really continue to have an engaged employee? It's very important you need to have an engaged employee and he needs to be motivated. His motivation level goes down, automatically all of us know our customer experience will go down. He will not be able to deliver whatever we are thinking or whatever we have written down something as an SLA, right? I think it's important that we have our own methodology. Again, is there one rule book which one company can think? Definitely not. If you look at in forums like this, while you people interact, the new ideas, what you really state, are the ones which we need to think through and see, okay, probably this has worked for an A company. Is it worth for us to try for another company? So those are the ones which we need to see for having a detailed engagement with the team, with the employees, right? And again, empowering, so important. I'll just try to take a little different dimension on empowering. It is difficult to really empower. You have to empower. Should we empower completely? Should we over-empower, or will they really take it to advantage? Let me try to tell you some different types of scenarios what we have seen. While people are trying to get empowered, somebody will say that, okay, some people will not even declare that, they are security savvy people. They would have done a lot of certifications. I'm telling you, my CISO hat, which I wear, is people, while they really try to play around on a PC, they'll try to do various things which they are not supposed to do. They are supposed to be an agent. They're supposed to be a team lead. The amount of efforts what they will try to break the jinx using their own learnings is so difficult. So there has to be a balance while we are trying to empower, right? So it's so important, especially with the type of workforce which are so distributed. People say that we are working from home. That home may not be his home, he may be anywhere. So it is so difficult for us to really track. And you have to have an empowered employee to get the delivery. But at the same time, you need to have a balance between the both. So I spoke about this as customer experience, which is, I leave it with you all. While as a business, what we need to really look at is so important that, especially I am trying to say, as a third-party company, we have to continue to grow the company revenue, we have to increase the productivity, and we need to see, having all this, we need to continue to have reduced the cost. So that means, let me give a dimension here on technology, what happens. I think I'm trying to give a flavor of technology also to all of you so it becomes easy. So if you really look at, a lot of the customers have moved to the cloud. All of us used to have our own ACDs, which is running either here or hosted out elsewhere in the world, right? So the way the evolution has happened has made us to really say that we don't want to really have the WFM at all. That means we don't want to have it by ourselves. If there is a way that we can leverage with our customer, he has an ACD, he has a complete system. If he has a WFM, let's start doing. So what's the model? I think if you look at the disruption, what has happened here, in the models, what our teams have thought through is, they have built a workforce team which used to really do the workforce scheduling or any of these adherences locally for us using the tool. They have started offering this as a service to our customers. So that means our own teams are going back to the customers and trying to tell them, hey guys, we will start doing that outsourcing, offshoring also. Why are you guys really trying to do this? The tool becomes immaterial because all of you as a team here have the skill set of what you do. So we are trying to look at how can we repurpose the whole thing. This goes back to the point saying that we need to be relevant. Relevant in terms of technology, people, understanding of it, even in terms of business value. How is that which we can try to bring a business value to our customer? By doing some of these, I think good job by our team. They have really gone up and they keep pitching to the customer. So all of us know very well, today it's no more the business acquisition is either by a CRM or by a sales guy. All of us in this room, like I was trying to say, even that when we try to even pitch in for an RFP, we need to really exactly, earlier days used to know, we had to get the numbers from the WFM based on the FTEs, right? Today, you need to see how can you reduce the cost? How can you really bring down, right? If he has something, what's the value which we can deliver if the size is good enough? So I think a lot of it are the focus areas we in the management keep discussing with the WFM team trying to support us. That's the way it is. This is where I was trying to put across an automation maturity model. So, keeping hand on our heart, all of us have to declare ourselves where we are. If you look at a 2x2 matrix for anything what you take and try to put, where am I? Everybody wants to be on the right top quadrant, right? Even while we try to say to our own team members, when they try to buy some product or tools or technology, I'll say, guys, tell me where is it in the Gartner quadrant? Is it on the RR, HH? That's the way we say, right? So here also, if you look at all of us, our aspiration is to really be in the optimization mode. Is it completely controllable by us? Is it a circle of control, circle of influence? Because what I'm trying to say is some of the cases, I may not be able to really take control at all. I can only go back to my customer and say, hey customer, you moved to Genesis. I was earlier in Verint or I was in this. I need to go back to my partners and try to say, hey guys, you need to really ensure that this gets integrated to that platform. You need to work with such people. Or go back to the customer and try to say, okay, if you're not, I'll try to adopt to the tool what you do have. So I think adopting to the change, just moving as the way it goes with the customer's change, especially for a company like ours, from what I've seen, which is clearly, again, repeatable for third-party companies, are the journey for us to reach towards is optimization, which is very, very important. Does it make sense? Some yes? Okay. Thank you. I think people are yes awake. So just, I don't want to pick up any specific point. We ourselves, Arvind, if you have to really say, where are we, you think, on the maturity model here? Is it between visibility and productivity? Yeah. So the challenge is like, exactly, we ourselves have to say that, yes, we have started and we are trying to work. But while we are trying to do this, can this be continuous? The reason is because some of the changes what we are trying to look at in the customer's environment, you need to take control of it, which you can only be influencing it. You can't take control of it. So we need to go back and try to tell the customers, I want to take you to this journey. Please help me to help you to really go to this. So these guys have to really go back and sell value to them, and only then they'll be able to get to the automation journey and the maturity model. I'm sure this is available, sir. You can always share it with people and we can try to put it up where we are. With this, I don't want to really speak too many things. As I said, I will have a few minutes for you all to ask me anything, or I will love to hear. Today, the world is all about reverse mentoring. So it's no more that we know things, right? I think it's, Sunil, I heard your presentation which you started, and I know I saw your career which you were working with Dell, and you started off, I know right from the Dell days while Zafar was trying to really manage the technology and Zina was managing most of it. So I have interacted with a lot of them. So I was saying, Arvind said that, yes, he has also interacted with a lot of people. So the journey has really gone in. There are a lot of people here which are, young bloods who want to really, and I am absolutely open to really hear from you all. Like I said, it's more a reverse mentoring what is the world today. So a lot of these startups are really able to take off because of that only. At the same time, there needs to be some amount of governance, and that's where companies are really putting up a lot, and the government is also putting a lot on the ESG models. So I think somewhere we also will have a play which we can do, but reverse mentoring is the way which we are looking at. So I'm open for discussions, anything which you feel have thoughts, ideas, suggestions. Please go ahead, sir. Hi, Sandeep.
Most of the profiles that I get are 2 to 3 years in a company, right?
Correct.
So keeping this in mind and keeping the increase in the gig workers we are seeing in every company right now, how do you think the future of work going forward is going to be for people who are looking to invest in people, right? Like people like us, workforce management professionals, we look at investing in people and making them ready for the next assignment. But by the time 2 assignments are over, the person also leaves the company. So how do you think this is going to change in future?
Good point, Sandeep. I think, see, one thing we need to be all ready. I'll give you absolutely a tangential example, okay? I will definitely answer what you said also. You know what happens? Company can say, I am 100% foolproof, I have ensured, I have done everything for us to be secure. Can any company say this? It's not possible at all, right? Every day we need to really keep tightening everything. Once you do a firewall, and just, again, trying to connect to the technology, you do a firewall, then you go to a desktop edge device and try to put, and then you put a managed service provider who gives you various alerts, and then you take threat feeds from Intel, from various things. You keep on doing this, right? The same business what we are in here on people, right? We need to be satisfied if somebody works for 3 years for you. That's the way we need to plan ourselves. It's difficult for you to really say, if somebody says that, if somebody says he's worked for 5 years, gone are the days people are really looking at, what? You work for 4 years, 10 months, you get your gratuity, he says, take a Walkman, I'm not interested in your gratuity. People are just trying to say that I have found a new opportunity. I remember people used to do, while especially the agent level population, this is still more different. People, while we were in Hosur Road, our office is prominently and has been predominantly since 2000 in Hosur Road. People used to walk across buildings, okay? If he misses, then he'll walk into the other building and he'll get an offer. So similar things is what we are talking about in geographies like Philippines. You know what, if somebody by mistake presses a different lift, he'll go to a different floor. He will attend an interview and take the job and go away. You will be thinking that that guy will really come back to you. So you need to be open. I have seen exactly like what you said, to see that if we are able to retain people, it's good for you. At some point of time, it may be worthwhile for us to even let them go. That's also a decision which you need to make, right? Because managing those people will be difficult. The expectations of them will be far higher than what you think your budget, what you would have planned for. All of us have to have our own budget to run. You will think that if I want to retain him for 5 years, 8 years, that's the way people are thinking. Is there a way that we will be able to take knowledge from him and try to see what we can do? That's where all of us have thought through and done primary, secondary for every position is what we do. Who's your successor is what we keep asking. So I think that's the way the whole technology, the whole business is, and we need to continue planning with that. Good for me, and again, whatever said and done, people work for people. You need to give the space. And that's what we have seen, and I have been happy that people have worked with me for at least 15, 20 years, and still working with me. Thank you, Sandeep. I hope I've answered whatever it is. The only thing is we need to plan for it. 3 years is the cycle. 3 to 5 years, I think people will churn. Any other thoughts, suggestions? Before Shivam comes to the stage, I've seen him coming to the stage. Please, somebody there. I think he has something to say.
Yeah, so my question is, see, in order to have an effective organizational success, we have 4 major pillars which has to come in collaboration, right? Amalgamate and then process. So the first one is our interaction management, workforce management, strategic planning, and operations, right? So when I talk about interaction management, the entire strategy as to how the interactions are routed to the final agent, right? So it could be via emails, it could be via voice, chat, whatever it is. So once the strategy has been designed, right, it has got many other channels like what should be our routing structure, what should be our callback strategy, and all those stuff. So that actually has to be exactly implemented in our workforce management so that we plan effectively, right? So in order to sync the interaction management channel to our workforce management channel, right? And during workforce management, we also need to receive all the information with regards to whether it is mergers, collaborations, and then changes in policies. So whatever is going to impact our either customer database or these customer strategies, right? And then finally comes the operations, who is going to implement the entire plan. So my question is, how do we get all these forces together? So is there, because most of the companies I haven't seen, the collaboration between all the 4 pillars, right? So they work in silos, and the little bit of information here and there that comes to the workforce management to finally implement. However, in order to get our customer experience and customer satisfaction, there has to be an amalgamation, there has to be a collaboration. Is there any platform which can enable that so that we can finally deliver what the entire plan is for?
So your question is on platform or it's on the people?
Everything.
Because today if you look at platforms, if you don't have it today, it'll come, right? Do you think you'll be able to make the people collaborate is a big question which you need to think through. I think your point was all about that only if you look at, right?
Right.
It is very difficult to make it happen until you have them as your nerve center. For example, as I said earlier, why I said that it is not worth for the WFM person to report to me at a point of time. See, again, people don't want to give up. Let me tell you very clearly. I was very clear. It doesn't make sense for me. I am, again, in that particular role, only an influencer. What I was trying to do was only trying to buy the right technology for him, right? Am I making wise by really running this team? No. Where should they really sit with operations, right? When you say operations, there are multiple operations. Strategic operations and day-to-day operations, right?
Right.
What is strategic operations? The guy who really answers the P&L for the company, right? It's like a different head of mine of CISO reporting to the board directly. The WFM head should directly work with the P&L owner, right?
Right.
He should have his feeds being given to the CFO, right? Like the CISO gives information to the board and to the legal and to the CEO, he should give information to them. Reason is because by default I have seen when I was running, and now also I know, sure Arvind will accept or not, I don't know, but the buffers which every operation leader will have, if I have a 5,000 seats, each of them will have something under their shirt, right? They want to keep a set of people who are running. Why is this idea of shadow IT which really came up is because of that, right? Somebody used to start preparing MIS and which meets that guy's requirement and that guy gets aligned with him and then that's the way it goes, right? I think the positioning of the team is so important in the organization and taking it to the level at the topmost makes a lot of difference. And I have seen that working pretty well with us. Huh? Today, if we have challenges on some SLA not being met by operation guy, this guy will say, okay? If the billing is not really happening right, he will say. The CRMs also will report to him and say, boss, you have projected a lot more number of people. The CRMs are the ones who really manage a $100 million type of account. He says, no, I had this, but the problem is the volume didn't come through. Who will endorse that? The neutral party Z. Operations is not beneficiary, CRM is not beneficiary. Who is the neutral guy? The WFM. So I think it all depends on how you position within your organization, and it's a top-down approach.
Right.
If the top person believes that there is a value in it, then it is possible. And I think we have seen this happening in our company. That's where we are trying to say, we are trying to go to our customers and say that we'll do it for you. Do it yourself and then take it to your customer. That's my thought. Again, on tool, don't get worried. Tool will be available. If it is not, just walk around a few 5-star hotels, some .ai company will come or some platform will start. It will be available. It's like every company having a product, if he doesn't have, I'm sure Sunil will say that, as he said earlier, it is available in my next version. Absolutely, yes, because he has to bring it. Otherwise, he has to be available in the market. He has to be relevant in the market, right?
Right.
That's the way it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts? Please.
So that's where we jumped. And the person who brought me in was Ravi. He brought me to Circle. So when we started, we didn't know what WFM was. People like Ravi mentored me. So this is WFM, this is how we need to go. Because everybody knew who a trainer was, who a quality person was, who a team leader was, who was a manager. But nobody knew who was a WFM. So my question over here is, now technology being brought into WFM, do you think who do you think is a better person, a mentored WFM or a technology-driven WFM? Because I'm a mentored person. I started in Excel. I mean till date, for me Excel is the best tool. But now, I mean, a lot of tools coming in, everything coming in. So, who do you think is a better person? The reason I'm asking you is because you have seen from that millennia to Gen Z to now what you call the Gen X.
You're right. I'm almost ready for retirement, you're saying. I understood. Please go ahead.
So, who do you think?
So, it is not A versus B. It is not. As you exactly said, WFM, you are very comfortable even today given an option with Excel also.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It is not that you don't want WFM.
Yeah.
Right? If you get an option, if you start learning yourself from Excel, moving towards Power BI, you will be more than happy. Right?
Absolutely.
So, is there a way that you can say that, can I be independent or should I be interdependent? That's a decision which you need to really make. Do you want to become a technologist or you want to become a workforce head or whatever it is, right? I'm just giving you a different example like what you said. If you want to build your own career, you need to think through what should I need to be. What's that I need to be? Again, don't plan for 10 years and all, because that's too difficult. Just plan what's going to be for next 3 years. When people say that, what are you going to be after 5 years, those interviews are gone, right? Because now what you will do is what people are looking at. Now are you relevant? Are you going to be relevant later? So you have yourself evolved from an Excel to a WFM. Excel is a technology. What is technology doing you? Technology was only enabling you, right? Now what is enabling you? Gen A is enabling you, right? For you to be relevant, you need to understand the operations. Once you have a control on the operations, you will definitely have right from your shrinkage to your any terminology and actual. Don't be only on terminology. Like you exactly said, you got mentored by him. Get to the depth of everything. Once you get to the depth of everything, you will get confidence. Then you will automatically start communicating right. and you will start choosing a tool by yourself, right? Then technology will not really do any of those. Technology will only enable you to do it. Either they will come back and tell you, I'll put it on a cloud, and some companies will not even give you on-prem. Now they have made it a practice that I'll give you only on cloud, only SaaSified. So you have to pay them every year. They have to have their revenue model, right? So technology will only enable you. And that's where I'm saying, if technology guys also has to evolve, he needs to start interacting with the business. I remember a few years ago when I was speaking in NASCOM, technology and business are together. Today, business is technology, technology is business, right? Like you use Excel, like you use Power BI, and then you go to Microsoft, using bricks and various things, right? So it is so much embedded in every business what we really do. So I think you can't live without A without B. I think interdependency is good. You scratch my back, I scratch your back, I be good to you, be good to you, is the way it works. Did I answer you?
Yeah. And
I hope I didn't confuse you.
No, you didn't. I mean, like you said, Excel to Power BI, Power BI to Excel. Do you think if I use an Excel, if I explain it better, then, I mean, Power BI has the various components of showing the graphs and it is much more picturizable.
Correct.
But if I put a simple graph in Excel and I give the learnings and what is my findings, I give the root cause analysis in Excel.
Will the management get convinced? Your question is
exactly.
If you ask me if it meets his objective, he'll get convinced.
Convinced.
I have a guy
who
he also knows. There is a guy who continues to be as a, he's got certified himself and he's been taken some huge certifications on Excel here. And he used to come back and tell me earlier in our company, because we used ClickView, he used to say, sir, don't use this, not even required, sir. Forget about Power BI, which came after that, right? Yes. So he said, start thinking towards that. And that guy said that I can do the same in Excel and give. Trust me, people will really want to have what they want. And you know what? It has to be so dynamic. He will also be happy because he would have learned Excel. Look at what is that which he wants. Then it's going to be easy for you. If he wants an interactive dashboard, and if your Excel can still do it, right? And if that doesn't have any limitations of your rows and columns and whatnots on the data going big, or if you're able to move from port to Excel to Power BI at a point of time, you should be able to, right? So it's not a problem. Will it meet the objective? That's all you need to look at. And he'll be more than happy. You can always say, you don't have additional licenses of Power BI. I've done it in Excel itself.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Shivam stood up. Thank you so much. I think I did more. Thank you.
Thank you. So with this, from GWFM, we express deepest gratitude for your valuable presence. In fact, on this occasion, want to felicitate Sagality. GWFM is proud to present the Impetus International WFM Award, where they demonstrated during the Hackathon 3.0 among the 100 WFM innovation hackers. They really done tremendously well, sharing the business cases and also use cases, which really stand out, very exponential and extraordinary. So on this occasion, I take this pride and privilege to, on behalf of GWFM, we would love to felicitate Sagality team.